Hi, glad you're with us. We happen to have the perfect house. We have found the perfect house that virtually covers everything that we have to offer. We're going to go inside, introduce ourselves to Chris, who's invited us over to his house. Now, I've been here before, and so I've learned a lot of the things that we need to resolve. But let's go inside and meet Chris. Hello,
hey,
Chris.
How's it going?
Good, good. Thank you for inviting us over.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
See what we can do to resolve some of your issues.
Oh, yeah.
Chris has generously invited us into his home. Like I said before, we've got a number of things we're going to talk about. First thing we're going to do is we'll go upstairs and resolve an issue with his insulated attic door, and then talk about a few other things while we're here. We're going to make this as quick and as simple as we possibly can for everybody and show you just how easy it is to install an insulated attic door. Okay? Chris, we'll get the stuff I need. I'll be right back. Okay, now, as easy as this is, as I'm going to convince you that it is, I will say it's heavy. So there's techniques to getting something of this size and weight upstairs that make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the door down on the stair. Okay? Then I'm going to go to the other side of the door and pick it up from the inside, and I'm going to carry it up this way as opposed to over my shoulder. Okay? That way it's easier to balance. And I can do it without doing damage to the wall or stairs. Okay? The doors come with hinges on one side. In most applications, we leave the hinges on. Occasionally we'll have to take them off, but in most applications, we leave them on. So the first thing we want to do is go up in the attic and determine which way the door is going to open. All right, I'm going to step up, figure out which is the best way for the door to be out of the way when it opens. We've determined that the door needs to open to the right. Be out of the way because the appliances are on the left, so we want the door to swing that way. So as we manipulate the door up the stairs, we'll do it with in mind that the hinges are on that side and that's the way it's going to open. Okay? All right. Okay. Many of the applications that we install in, the majority of which, in fact, are standard opening size. Some, like this particular one, is a little more narrow, which will mean our standard door will fit on top of these joists rather than what is typical of the frame itself. Typically the door sits on the frame of the ladder itself. In this particular application though, we're going to set the door on top of these 2x. And in this case, it's going to cause us to have to make a couple of accommodations because the decking actually extends beyond what we hope to set on. So we're going to cut away a little bit of this, what is existing, to make room for the door. So bear with me. Okay. The installation doesn't require many tools. Simply a drill, a few screws, and you can use great stuff from one of the home centers. I use touch and seal, but any poly seal applicant will work, or application. Okay. One of the most important things you have to do before you take the door upstairs is you have to take out a small screw right here that holds the door shut in transport. Okay. Bear with me while I do that, and then we'll take the door upstairs and put it in. Okay. Now when we get up there, the door will open like it's supposed to. Okay? As I mentioned before, the door is kind of heavy, so technique is important in getting it up. The first thing I do is I set it on one of the first couple of steps so that I can slide it and I'm not having to carry the weight of it. Now I've got it there. I'm simply going to use the ladder to do the work for me. I'm going to slide it right up, get it to where I need it We'll set like so. And I'm going to set it there. And as I mentioned before, the hinges are on this side, so this side is going to my right. Okay? I'm going to turn it. This particular application has to go over a couple of brackets. Believe it or not, the door's in place with the exception of adding a few screws and polysealing it in. The door's going to open freely, and that's going to be the hard part. I mean, that's it. That's the difficulty of it, just getting it up here. While I'm up here, if you'll give me just a few minutes, I'm going to put a couple of screws in to secure it, and we'll be done. Okay. In this particular application, as I mentioned before, we're setting the door up on top of the joist instead of down on the frame that's inside. So by doing that, it made us go a little bit long that way, which left us a little short this way. Each door comes with a kit of 4 pieces of wood that can be used for an extension to elevate it or to fill in little gaps like this. So that'll come with it. You won't have to worry about providing that. So we're going to seal off that right there. We'll attach a couple of screws to make sure that that stays in place. So, and that also gives me something to screw the framework into. I'm going to take advantage of this portion of the decking that's high and use that for support. You do want to make sure that you keep the door nice and square so that it'll get a true seal when it closes. We'll put in one more door, and then we'll be ready to polyseal, or one more screw, excuse me, we'll be ready to polyseal it in. All right, I'm going to test it. Perfect. Okay. I'll get my polyseal gun and we'll finish it up. All right. Yep. Once the door's in place, to make the seal complete, I apply polyseal to the joint. It's a quick and easy process, and while I'm here, I'm also going to do his ladder. Even though we didn't install the ladder, we're going to polyseal the hole around it and help as much as we can eliminate any air loss. I'm going to go all the way around, and you just want to go all the way around to seal the whole thing. And you can use, from a home center, you can use Great Stuff or any other type, but it's a very easy, quick, and inexpensive way to get a really good seal. One caution, don't get this stuff on you while it's wet, because it's hard to get it off. Okay, we've actually got a really good tight seal all the way around. The door is very solid, and that's all that's involved in installing an insulated attic door. All right.